Yo, yeah, this is kind of something I kind of spoke about. Um, the illusion, the hypnosis of sociology, right? Um, you know, the sociological lens is something that was implanted in the minds of many, you know, many netados, right? Many blacks, through church and school, and now it's implanted in the minds through television and music and even politics to a certain extent. Um, this hypnosis is very strong. It's very dangerous. You know, it's you know it's almost a psychological um, shackle that keeps the mental weak at all times. You know, power cannot be obtained. There's no such thing as power for a person who views the world from a lens of sociology. Right? You know, yeah. Yeah, the Nettado is almost in a permanently, blind and weak position with the mentality of socialism, sociology. It gets even worse when you add the individualistic component within the Western world, um, keeping broken families more broken, more selfish, more delusional, shit like that. Majority of these, quote unquote elites, they control everything through bloodlines and families. And the ones who rank below them are the, in the corporate world, corporatocracy, if you want to call it that. But yeah, back on topic, sociology is similar to democracy. Omar spoke about it. Um, it blinds the mind. Right? We are the world. We are the people. Right? It's about a person's content of character, not a person's color or skin. That brainwash. You know that psychological brainwash was implanted inside of us within the 1900s. You know, um, you know, empathy. Put yourself in his shoes. Right? Love thy neighbor. Treat people how you want to be treated. Right? We're all one people. We're all one human race. Very, very ignorant, very delusional concept. Right? That mindset, that sociological mindset, is very crippling. Especially when you at the bottom. Right? When you're at the bottom, you have to have a power mentality, a revolutionary mentality, a you know, a mentality of integrity and objectivity, relentlessness. Right? Right? We live in a world designed and controlled by humans, right? Human sapien, caucasoids, right? A sociological mentality can only apply to a society filled with one species, right? The Western world is filled with multiple species, multiple entities, right? With different gene pools, right? We have to be more scientific, more objective with our mentality, more power driven. Everybody want to hold hands and shit. Harmony, all that bullshit. It's unnatural for a species to thrive in its full potential. For two species to thrive in its full potential, they have to be in their own environments. You cannot put two species in one environment and expect both of them to thrive to their full capacity, their full potential. Right. One will be forced to be suppressed, to conform, to compromise itself, while the other species excels at a higher rate. It's unnatural for multiple species to live in one environment, one habitat. Especially for a long duration, along my quote unquote time. We are not the people. We are not all the same people, right? We have to remove ourselves from the crayon box ideology. The social lens is very dangerous. The social lens only hurts us. The social lens is very dangerous. It can justify, it can justify bloodshed. It can dilute and distort history. It can enable interbreeding. It can justify suppression of a group of beings, a group of species. Right? It can do a lot of dangerous things. Social lens, sociology is kind of a form of, masking a smell, covering a stench, right? It's a cloud cover, smoke screen. The social lens can make someone walk into extermination without even knowing it. The social lens makes it thousands of times harder to see the enemy, right? To see humanity for what it is. The social lens, it blurs the vision of the natural of our people. Right? The social lens also enables a subjectivity mindset. Right? The social lens is almost a cousin of subjectivity. Right? To each his own. Live your life. Be comfortable in your skin. Do what you want to do. Don't let no one judge you for your kinks and your preferences. Just live your life, be happy. All that stupid shit. Right? Subjectivity is very dangerous as well. It leaves room for, subjectivity. It leaves room for, dysfunction. Abnormalities. Even terms we use, black, white, brown, they're all linked to social concepts, right? Same thing with racism, right? Racism, or just race alone, is viewed as a social term, right? A political term, right? Especially in the Western world. We gotta be mindful with our words. Right? We have to know the difference. Know the difference between the human branches, the human family tree, and the natural demonic family tree. Right? Know the difference. Right? The social lens is a weapon the system uses to blind our people. Right? Always. Since the 1900s. It's a very old weapon. They have other weapons as well. Those who control the world, right? Human sapiens that control the world, they do not operate from a social lens, a social mentality. They operate from a mentality of bloodlines, control and domination, sovereignty, all right? Networks, the quote-unquote spider web. All right? They almost operate as one body, right, with multiple limbs. Right? There's a long line of human sapiens within the hierarchy, elites, quote unquote. The ones you can see, the ones you can't see. The ones from the camera, and the ones, behind the camera, quote unquote. Know the system and know the enemy. Right? Those are two different things. Knowing the system and knowing the enemy are extremely different. Right? The two worlds, right? Humanity has divided the world in two. Right? You can argue more than two, but there's a world that we live in, and there's a world that sapiens stay operating. The higher ranked sapiens, they keep their distance from the public, right? The quote unquote 1%. It's deeper than that though. These are parasites, right? These are cold, acidic people. Right. But yeah, you know the fucking vibes, bro. Sapiens and shit like that. Yeah. Sociology is a weapon, right? An invisible weapon, right? That's why you hear terms like social media, social cues, social skills, and social work. All that stupid shit. Yeah. The war is invisible to you if you have a social lens. Right? Moving the social lens is extremely important. Right? You got other shit too, Stockholm syndrome, white Jesus complex, humanization, inferiority complex. There's multiple crabs in the barrel. There's multiple things that we have to remove from our psyche and our subconscious, right? As Yeah, the sociology lens. Yeah, that's a big one. That's extremely dangerous and devastating. You know. Yeah, the human world will always be invisible to the Netero if he does not remove his social lens. Right? You know, this also links to the good apple analogy. Alright? No, he's different. He's not like that. No, he's cool. He's one of the good ones. Like very, very ignorant. You know, he's special. The good apple analogy. No such thing as a good apple. Alright? That's a social concept, right? That comes from religion. You know, very ignorant. It's like a good rattlesnake or a good shark. Right? It's about what is, what isn't. What is.